Let's get started. All right. So we are the new majority, closing the racial and gender wealth gap through entrepreneurship and investing. My name is Mackenzie Loy, and I'm co-founder and CEO of the New Majority. I just graduated from Georgetown with my MBA and MPP. And while there, I launched my other social enterprise, Homemade in DC, and really planted the seeds for the New Majority. Lucas Turner Owens is my co-founder and chief investment officer, and we met the first semester of the MBA. We were part of the same cohort, so it was a great cohort. Go Grays. All right, so we are the New Majority. We make it easy for everyday New Majority investors to invest directly into founders who look like them. Now, when we applied to the Summer Launch Incubator back in March, we were an equity crowdfunding platform. But after further customer discovery and research, we decided to take a human-centered design / lean startup approach and build an MVP that would really help us assess whether people actually wanted an equity crowdfunding platform focused on New Majority founders. So when we came into the Summer Launch Incubator in June, we had a much sharper focus and a more manageable product that did not require the SEC's approval. So next week, we are actually releasing our MVP. You can see it here. It's the Investor Circle. For $13 per month, members receive access to one New Majority founder with an investment memo. Our members can then decide if they'd like to invest in that month's founder. So keeping in mind our MVP, these were the three initial goals that I had sent to Amy and Ben. By June, we had tweaked them a bit. So what did we actually accomplish? At the end, well, today, we have put together our first product, the investment memo, and is launching next week. We opened up the floodgates for our customers. We're calling them the members of our New Majority Investor Circle. Currently, we have 13 paying members, a combination of monthly and annual subscribers. So in this month, we actually went from pre-revenue to revenue generating. And we also developed our key milestones for the next 2 years, where we're going in a game plan to achieving them. So how did we get here? We had a big focus this month on iteration, experimentation, what's our North Star, our KPIs. Initially, we were focusing on a free newsletter as our MVP, but over the past month, we've really focused in on the investment memo as our MVP. So the newsletter is really a top of funnel piece, and this shifted our focus from subscribers to paying members. In addition, when we launched, we used Bitly links, specific discount codes, and Google Sheets to really track our go-to-market efforts. And this is kind of, this experimentation is part of what I'm trying to build into my weekly structure as I go forward on this entrepreneurial path. We also refined how we approach customer discovery. So we went from like surveys and focus groups amongst friends to really building customer discovery with our members, our paying customers, into our operations. And we're really trying to dig into the behavioral side. So asking questions like, what's your financial guilty pleasure? And that will help us build a more detailed customer profile that will, one, allow us to better find our customers, and then two, hopefully build a second revenue stream with sponsors who are interested in our target customers. And that's something that I talked a lot about with my mentors, Bob and Betsy. As was mentioned, this was a super fast month, but it did underscore something that the New Majority is really building on, which is the power of our community. So I attended SLV's pre-launch event, and I actually met someone who then became our 7th customer. So always go to each other's events. And then always to that point is, if I can always be of any help to anyone on this call, don't hesitate to reach out to me, because we are all part of the same community. And then also as part of that community is not just your network, not just your customers, but also your team. So I've spent a lot of time over this past month working with my co-founder. We've had a lot of big conversations, hard conversations, to make sure that we're set up for future success. And hopefully, as we go into what's next, we'll build on that success. So we're going to continue to experiment during the summer. And this fall, we hope to secure our first sponsor and actually hold our first members event, so that by December, we hope to cross the 500 members milestone. So we are so excited to be building this community, this company. If you know of an organization who would like to sponsor our newsletter that reaches a passionate community with a disposable income, please introduce us. And then also, if you'd like to join the New Majority community and invest directly into a New Majority founder each month, please join us, share with a friend. This QR code will lead you directly to our membership sign up page. You can use the code MAXFAM to get 1 month free. And as everyone scans that QR code, I also want to say thank you to Amy and Ben and the rest of the Georgetown entrepreneurship team for putting on this great month. And to my mentors, Bob and Betsy, it's been great to work with you, hopefully now and hopefully in the future. And also thank you to the rest of the founders in the room. I'm really excited to be on this journey with such a passionate crew of other founders. So thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Wow, that was fantastic. And the learnings that you've had, and I did see a post on the chat from Jeff saying, woohoo, revenue. That isn't always the case, but you know, here it is, just in 1 month, you're racking it in. And again, I will emphasize that ask. It's all about creating the crowd and getting everybody started in this. And so congratulations, Mackenzie. You're really a superstar. Okay, so now we're going to hear from the mentors. And I think, Robert,
Yeah.
you're the one who was picked.
Yeah, can you see me?
We can, yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, Mackenzie's a superstar. She gave a very thorough progress report, and I love the fact that she included an ask at the end of it. So she even asked me to blog about New Majority yesterday, and I've already gotten some feedback. So she's not shy about the ask, and that'll serve her well when she goes out to VCs. Betsy Zeidman and I were Mackenzie's mentors this past month. It was a real delight. A couple of observations regarding the progress that Mackenzie has made since day one. We actually started on June 8th, so it's been a real quick ride. At the start of the program, Mackenzie had built a solid business model concept, but we all understood that she needed to make some iterations, 3 in particular regarding the MVP, which she alluded to, customer development, and newsletter content. So those were the 3 things we focused on this past month. Over the course, Betsy and I noted some incredible leadership skills that Mackenzie exhibited. Number 1, she had the flexibility to embrace our ideas to help spur growth, the confidence to push back when our ideas didn't fit her model, and the ability to really synthesize her ideas and ours collectively to form a coherent plan in order to build a better mousetrap. So she's got all the elements for a leader in stock right now. And the result was a more collaborative approach, which delighted us to work with her, and it helped spur growth. 2 key learnings that came out of this that she also mentioned in her presentation, so we're on the same page, was the expansion and deepening of the customer discovery process. We spent a lot of time on that to help her refine the customer profile, develop audience targeting that really hones in on the paid member prospects. And she's done a great job, and what will result is an ongoing customer feedback loop to help refine the product down the road. The second was the shift in the MVP. So it began that the newsletter was the MVP, but we realized that it's really the investor analysis that is that differentiated product. So now the newsletter is a gateway to attract members who end up paying for the proprietary investor memo. And that creates a more valuable product the customers are willing to pay for. And we just realized the newsletter in and of itself wouldn't do that. Overall, Mackenzie has moved, as she mentioned, the New Majority from a pre-revenue concept to a revenue generating startup. And they'll have 1 more member after this, namely me. So she's well on her way of fulfilling her dream to building a social impact fintech company. Great job, Mackenzie, and I hope to remain a mentor and partner down the road. Thanks.